Well, welcome to our online worship here at Trinity Klein Lutheran Church and School. My name is Pastor Gene Johnson, and today we celebrate Mother's Day. When I think of Mother's Day, I go to the creation moment, Genesis chapter 2. I want to share these words for you from Genesis chapter 2, beginning with verse 18. And just to put it in a context, right? It's the creation event. We've seen God over 6 days create the heavens and the earth. He's created the seas and the land. He's filled the seas with fish, and he's filled the air with birds and with vegetation and livestock all over the earth. And now he's also created man. But it's in this moment, in verse 18, we see God recognize something. He says, "Then the Lord God said, it's not good for the man that he should be alone. I will make a helper fit for him." So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, he took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made it into a woman, and he brought her to the man. And then the man said, "This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman." Today we celebrate what I believe is probably the most significant moment in all of creation, and it is the creation of woman. When God created woman, he knew exactly what he was doing, because no offense, men, we need a lot of help, and we need good, strong women. He knew what he was doing when he gave us these good, strong, brilliant, courageous, loving women who honestly embody the true character and identity of God in our world. And along with Jesus, it's women that truly help us understand what it means to live life as a child of God and a follower of Jesus in this world. You know, when I think about women, I know I've been blessed by so many women in my life who truly embody those characteristics that I just talked about. You know, one of the first women that comes to my mind is my grandmother, Granny. Gotta call her by her right name. And it was Granny that really honestly shaped and molded me in so many ways to who I am today. She's one of the most significant, influential figures of my life. And the thing about her was she always kept us grounded in our identity in Jesus. She always kept Jesus at the center of everything and encouraged and influenced us to do the same. And she was just a champion for truth, and it made such a great impact on my life. And then of course, there's my sister, Kathleen, who is probably one of my very best friends. She is my best friend. And when I think about my sister and her characteristics, her strong characteristics of just being always so supportive and so loving and always putting others before herself. She's so generous and dependable, probably the most dependable person that I know, and such an influential part of my life. And then, of course, there's my mom. And my mom embodied true love. And here's the reality. My mom taught me what forgiveness is, because she embodied true forgiveness, because you have no idea what she had to put up with me. It's true. And so she was always filled with grace and love and forgiveness, no matter what. And finally, the biggest woman in my life, which is my wife, Ann. I'd be lost without her. I mean, it's clear when we look back on our path together that we were meant to journey together through so many roads that were going to be thrown in our way, a variety of highs and lows, hard times and good times that we were meant to experience together. And here's the thing about Ann. There is no one that I know that is more deeply connected to Jesus than she is. And she also helps me to always be deeply connected to Jesus as well. Women are one of God's greatest gifts, not just for me, but I think women are one of God's greatest gifts to all of humanity. a loving, committed mother, sister, aunt, grandmother, wife. They are an indispensable person in our development, whether it's as kids or even as adults. The women in our lives teach us humility. They empower us with characteristics of sacrifice and generosity and empathy. Now, I want you to listen to that again and hear what you hear when you think about women, and they embody the characteristics of sacrifice, just like Jesus. They embody the characteristic of generosity and giving and putting others before themselves, and humility and empathy, just like Jesus. It's through those God-fearing women in our lives that we often get glimpses of who Jesus is, because, as I just said, they exemplify him in so many ways, especially his sacrifice, his giving his all to give for us what we need most of all, which is forgiveness and life. Jesus gave everything. He gave the fullness of himself, has sacrificed everything so that we might have the one thing that we needed most: forgiveness, new life. Women embody that same love. Biologically, we see Jesus in women biologically. Women are designed for self-sacrifice. Think about it. When pregnant, a woman's body, her biological body, focuses its primary attention on the nurturing of that new growing life that is developing within her. It'll literally focus all of its attention on nurturing that life sacrificially. Her body will automatically prioritize the needs of that baby inside of her over anything else. And this inherent gift of self-sacrifice is not only biological. Think about it. After that child has been born, a mother continues to sacrifice herself for the needs of that child. She'll do whatever she can to assure her children have what they need. I don't know about you, but that is a picture of Jesus, right? That is the picture of Jesus, who came into this world not for his own selfish wants and desires, but to do for us, to sacrifice for us, to give his life for us so that we might have new life in him. Turn to the Apostle Paul when we think about women, and especially when we think about mothers. When the Apostle Paul was describing his love for the church at Thessalonica, he used the metaphor of a mother's love to describe how deeply he himself cared for the Thessalonians. He reminded them that he was like a gentle mother who tenderly cares for her own children. When God himself described his love for Israel, he did so also with the motherhood metaphor. He told Israel that he would comfort them like a mother comforts her children. He spoke this through the prophet Isaiah. But for many, and for me as well, when we think about the beautiful characteristics of women, we think of Proverbs 31. In fact, so many people talk about a Proverbs, she's a Proverbs 31 woman. But I want to point out something about Proverbs chapter 31. This, 31 chapters of wisdom literature. And the author of the Proverbs decides to end the very end of his Proverbs focused on what? The woman. The last words, they don't extend praise for God or exalt manhood. No, they speak of the beautiful, indispensable role that women play in God's creation. And the entire book of Proverbs ends with these words: charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. A woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. And I don't know about you, but I know countless women who fit that description. And they are to be praised for their awe and their love and their adoration and their dedication to Jesus. These women who are deeply connected to Jesus, who love the Lord and love others just as He has loved them. We celebrate and praise women who not only love Jesus and the gospel, but embody the gospel and have been so influential in my faith life and in the faith life of so many others. So today we celebrate those women because they are the best part of us. Because as I said earlier, they may very well be the best part of creation. Today's Mother's Day. And so I hope that you will take this time to say thank you to your mothers, to all of those special women in your life. And know this, I may have, praised and adored all of them, but they're not perfect. We know that. They make mistakes. Our mothers, they didn't do everything right as we grew up, right? And they don't do everything right today. But they gave us life. And they continue to pour their lives into us with their love. And if your mother is like most mothers, she sacrificed for you and she did what she could to prepare you to be the loving, caring person that you might be today. To mothers, I say thank you. To all you women out there, thank you for all that you have done to prepare and raise each of us up to be the next generation of followers of Jesus, bringing the good news of Jesus to the world around us. Our world cannot make it without you. So, thank you for all you do, and happy Mother's Day.